Real Betis hopes of winning Champions League maintained by Antony's goal. Real Betis defeated Girona 3-1 in La Liga on Monday, scoring 3 goals in a flurry in the first half to maintain their ambitions of playing in Europe the next season. With the victory, 6th-place Betis closed the gap on Villarreal to just 1 point. The Champions League is open to the top 5. We still have our Champions League dreams, Isco told broadcaster DAZN after scoring his 7th goal of the season on his 33rd birthday. We know it is difficult, it's not in our hands, but we will fight until the end. All 3 of Betis's goals came from aerial attacks, demonstrating their continual threat in the air. An unmarked Antony side-footed a cross with 39 minutes remaining. Isco nodded in a third shortly before halfway, and Johnny Cardoso headed the first goal from a corner after 6 minutes. Since joining Betis in January, the Brazilian, who is currently on loan from Manchester United, has contributed to 4 goals and scored 5 goals. With 5 minutes left, Cristiano scored a consolation goal for the home team. Girona is in 16th place, 3 points above the relegation zone, and has lost their last 10 league games. Betis takes a Conference League first leg lead thanks to Antony's volley. When the Brazilian scored a spectacular goal in Real Betis's Europa Conference League victory over the Italian team, Fiorentina custodian David De Gea remarked that his old teammate Antony had just beaten him with a right-footed effort. In Seville, the Manchester United winger on loan scored a spectacular goal past De Gea to lead his team to a 2-1 victory in the first leg of the semi-final. Since joining the Spanish team on loan from Old Trafford in January, Antony has scored 6 goals. According to De Gea, I trained with Antony 1,000 times, and he never scored a goal with his right foot in any training session, Spanish network Movistar reported. I'm happy for him because he was coming from a difficult moment at United, and now he's showing the best of himself. Antony's loan agreement ends at the end of the season, but Betis is eager to keep him around. In the 6th minute, Abde Ezzalzouli gave Betis the lead when his shot struck the crossbar and crossed the goal line. After Antony extended the team's lead, Luca Ranieri, the captain of Fiorentina, came into the box and blasted a low drive past Francisco Vieita's outstretched palm to give the visitors a goal. After defeating Djurgården 4-1 on the road in the other semi-final first leg, the victor of the match is most likely to play Chelsea in the final on May 28th. Real Betis advances to the Conference League final by defeating Fiorentina. Real Betis defeated Fiorentina 4-3 on aggregate Thursday, and Abde Ezzalzouli scored the game-winning goal in extra time to make them the first Spanish team to go to the Conference League final. This victory set up a matchup with Premier League team Chelsea. Fiorentina was left to deal with even more disappointment in the competition as they were eliminated in the semi-finals after back-to-back final defeats, while Betis celebrated reaching their first European final after the second leg ended in a 2-2 draw, which featured a goal and an assist from Manchester United loanee Antony. Manuel Pellegrini, the manager of Betis, was ecstatic about making it to the final, but emphasized that his main goal is still to secure a Champions League position in La Liga. I'm logically satisfied. Giving the Betis supporters this kind of happiness made us feel a little obligated, Pellegrini told reporters. From tomorrow, we leave the Conference League out because we have 4 very important league games left to aim for the Champions League until the end of the season. Pellegrini stated, "We are very happy to reach the final, and even more so with Chelsea. And I sent Maresca a message a long time ago, being very happy for him." Betis will now face Chelsea in the final on May 28th in Krakow, Poland. Real Madrid defeated Getafe with Arda Güler scoring the lone goal. There was mounting expectation on Carlo Ancelotti and his team to succeed this season after they were eliminated from the Champions League by Arsenal last week. Anxieties were considerably reduced by a calm, although unimpressive, performance on a night when victory was the only thing that mattered. Kylian Mbappé sat out due to an ankle injury, and Jude Bellingham started on the bench as Ancelotti made 6 changes to his squad in preparation for Saturday's Copa del Rey final against Barcelona. In the 21st minute, Güler completed a quick Realmadrid break with a rifled effort that David Soria, the custodian for Getafe, was unable to stop despite getting a hand on it. After substitute Alvaro Rodriguez found him out unmarked, Mauro Arambari pulled a low shot over after Rodriguez had previously come close with a header. Rodriguez's low shot on the turn was saved brilliantly by Thibaut Courtois, but Getafe nearly pulled out a tie in the 6th minute of stoppage time. With 5 games remaining, a victory would put Madrid 4 points behind league leaders Barcelona, who they will play on May 11th. Getafe is still in 12th place, 7 points above the relegation zone and 7 points outside of the European spots. Mbappé nets 40th goal of season as Real Madrid rally for win. Barcelona's title-winning champagne was put on hold Wednesday as Real Madrid defeated Mallorca 2-1 in La Liga, thanks to a thrilling goal from Jacobo Ramon in the 5th minute of stoppage time. A 1-1 tie would have given Barca an insurmountable 6-point lead in the standings due to a superior head-to-head record, and they were just seconds away from celebrating the triumph. However, centre-back Ramon, making his first league start, was able to get on the ball and put a volley into the goal to keep Real Madrid's narrow hopes of winning the championship alive after Mallorca's defense misplayed by failing to clear a cross from within the box. Madrid is 4 points behind leaders Barca, who have a game in hand and would win their 28th La Liga title on Thursday if they defeat city rivals Espanyol during their final 2 games. Mallorca took the lead in the 11th minute thanks to an angled effort from inside the box by defender Martin Valgent. With a brilliant individual effort in the 68th minute, Kylian Mbappé tied the score for a diminished Real Madrid team that was missing 12 players because of injury. Ramon stated to Real Madrid TV, "I've had dreams about this my entire life, but it's unexplainable. There is no greater way for me to score my first goal than in this manner, and this shirt is for the end." Bellingham red card is revoked, and Rudiger receives a 6-game suspension. Antonio Rudiger of Real Madrid was given a 6-game suspension for his red card after the team's 3-2 loss to Barcelona in the Copa del Rey final, while Jude Bellingham dismissal was revoked. In the final moments of Madrid's extra-time defeat, Rudiger, Bellingham, and Lucas Vázquez, who also receives a 2-game suspension, were all sent off after the players erupted in protest over a call made by referee Ricardo de Burgos Bengoechea. Rudiger had previously been substituted, but according to de Burgos' report, he was sent off in the 120th minute for throwing an object from the technical area and had to be restrained by various members of the coaching staff showing an aggressive attitude. Bellingham was carded following the final whistle for approaching our position with an aggressive attitude, having to be held back by teammates, while Vázquez, who had also previously been taken from the game, was expelled for entering the field of play when he objected to the official's decision. "There's definitely no excuse for my behavior," Rudiger posted on social media a day earlier. "I sincerely apologize for that. I made a mistake before the final whistle and was unable to assist my team after 111 minutes. Once more, I apologize to the referee and everyone I let down." With 7 games remaining, Southampton demoted from Premier League. Southampton became the first team in Premier League history to be relegated with 7 games remaining on Sunday, setting an unwelcome landmark. Southampton's destiny was sealed in North London when they lost 3-1 against Tottenham Hotspur. Ange Postecoglou's team secured all 3 points with goals from Brennan Johnson in the first half and Mathys Tell's first Premier League goal, while Mateus Fernandes scored for the visitors. The previous record for the earliest relegation in league history was held by Derby County and Ipswich Town. In both 1994-95 and 2007-8, their relegations were confirmed with 6 games left. Aaron Ramsdale, the custodian for Southampton, told Sky Sports, "We knew it was probably going to be inevitable at some point. We haven't been good enough all season. The superior team outplayed us. Although it is a depressing day, and one from which this set of players will learn, we gave it our all in the second half. We require victories, points, and performances. The fans must become joyful and start singing at this point. Bravo to all of the fans who attended today, visited St. Mary's, and traveled across the nation. Before the championship season begins, we need to gain some momentum."
Tottenham defeats Bodo Glimt in the first leg to gain the upper hand. With a 3-1 home win over Bodo Glimt of Norway, Tottenham Hotspur put their terrible domestic campaign behind them and advanced to Thursday's Europa League final. Tottenham led 2-0 at halftime thanks to a header from Brennan Johnson after 37 seconds and a deft finish from James Maddison. Dominic Solanke extended Tottenham's lead just after the hour. There was a late twist, though, as Captain Ulrich Saltness' deflected effort gave Bodo Glimt hope for the second leg, which will take place inside the Arctic Circle next week. Tottenham rarely makes things easy for themselves. "We are pleased, and I think before the game, if you had said we would have a 2-goal cushion, we would have been happy with that," Johnson stated. "We were frustrated to concede, but they are a tough team, and we are happy with the performance." Richarlison headed Pedro Porro's crossback across the pitch, and Johnson was unmarked to tip his header past Nikita Häkkinen, giving Tottenham a perfect start. Porro was the mastermind once more in the 34th minute, with a long diagonal pass as the home team controlled. Next Thursday, Tottenham's resolve will be put to the test on Bodo's artificial field. Tottenham victory over Bodo Glimt secures their spot in Europa League final. With a calm 2-0 victory at Bodo Glimt in Norway on Thursday, Tottenham Hotspur advanced to the Europa League final and avoided any disasters in the Arctic Circle, winning 5-1 overall. The lead that Ange Postecoglou's team had built up in North London the previous week never seemed to be relinquished, and goals from Pedro Porro and Dominic Solanke halfway through the second half put an end to any hopes of a Bodo Glimt comeback. When Tottenham plays its English rivals Manchester United in Bilbao on May 21st, they will have the chance to win their first trophy since 2008. The few hundred away supporters celebrated after Porro tricked homekeeper Nikita Häkkinen with a ball that looped in after Solanke, who also scored in the first leg, scrambled in a header from Cristiano Romero in the 63rd minute. Home fans attended with the belief that Bodo Glimt may win the match and become the first Norwegian team to go to the European final, because of their impressive record on the artificial field at their Aspmyra Stadium.
Dominic Solanke penalty secures Spurs advancement to Europa League semi-finals. Tottenham Hotspur defeated Eintracht Frankfurt to go to the Europa League semi-finals, and Dominic Solanke's penalty in the first half saved their season. Ange Postecoglou's team in Frankfurt had extended periods without the ball and under pressure, but Tottenham missed multiple opportunities to seize control of the match during a 1-1 stalemate in the first leg last week. As halftime drew near, Frankfurt custodian Kawa Santos clattered into James Maddison while trying to claim a long ball forward, giving Spurs a penalty. Referee Davide Massa's refusal to give a spot kick infuriated Maddison's teammates, but he later changed his mind after consulting with a video assistance referee and booked Santos. After suffering treatment, Maddison initially kept playing, but Dejan Kulusevski took his place in first-half stoppage time. Tottenham posed a threat on the counter-attack and from set pieces, despite the fact that the home team had the majority of the possession after the interval. Just after the hour, Cristiano Romero headed just wide from a corner, then Rodrigo Bentancur headed over from a similar circumstance. In the last four, Tottenham will play either Lazio or Bodo Glimt. Coming off the bench, Trent Alexander-Arnold scores game-winning goal. With a 1-0 victory over Leicester, which solidified the Foxes' relegation to the Championship, Liverpool took a step closer to winning the Premier League title. Trent Alexander-Arnold scored the game-winning goal off the bench. Alexander-Arnold was brought on to make his injury comeback as the game was headed to a goalless draw. It took him just 5 minutes to make an impression and score the game-winning goal with his first left-footed goal as a professional. Before the ball was cleared for Alexander-Arnold to lash home Liverpool's 76th minute winner and then whip off his shirt to celebrate in front of a boisterous away end, Mohamed Salah struck the post and Diogo Jota rocked the crossbar in a goal-mouth tussle. However, the Egypt international's curled effort struck the far post, slid across Mads Hermansen's goal line, struck the other post, and bounced out. In a rare threat for Leicester in the first half, Steffi Mavididi then set up Wilfred Ndidi, who struck the post at the other end. Both Cody Gakpo and Salah missed multiple opportunities to give the visitors the lead. "We are so close now," said Trent Alexander-Arnold to Sky Sports. "I've been putting a lot of effort into getting healthy, so it was a crucial game for me to return from injury. It was a significant goal, and I was glad to help achieve it." At the end of the season, Alexander-Arnold will depart Liverpool, England's right back. At the end of the current campaign, Trent Alexander-Arnold has announced that he will be leaving Premier League champions Liverpool. The 26-year-old, who has played with the team since he was 6, is anticipated to sign with Realmadrid when his contract expires on June 30th. After 20 years at Liverpool Football Club, now is the time for me to confirm that I will be leaving at the end of the season. I think this is the hardest choice I've ever had to make in my life. This summer, the contracts of 3 well-known players at Anfield expire, including Alexander-Arnold. The defender, who was born in Liverpool, has made 352 appearances for the team, contributing 86 assists and 23 goals. Under Arne Slot, he has assisted them in winning the Premier League this season. In 2019-20, he helped the Reds win the Premier League under former manager Jurgen Klopp. In addition, he won 2 League Cups with Liverpool, the 2022 FA Cup, and the Champions League in 2018-19. For 20 years, this club has been my entire life, and my entire 20 years world. Alexander-Arnold continued. The affection and support I have received from everyone inside and without the club starting in the academy will always be a part of me. You all have my eternal gratitude. Hugo Duro defeats Real Madrid in stoppage time. Real Madrid lost position in the La Liga title battle after Valencia's incredible stoppage time goal from Hugo Duro. Hugo Duro headed home a magnificent cross from Rafa Mir as the clock reached 95 minutes. Valencia's first goal came from Mukhtar Diakabi, who leapt to head in a cross from Andre Almeida. It was a setback for Madrid, who had only moments before lost a great opportunity when goalie Georgi Mamardashvili easily saved Vinicius Jr. penalty after Cesar Tarrega was deemed to have fouled Kylian Mbappe in the box. Vinicius equalized shortly after the interval by putting a shot high into the roof of the net to make up for his missed penalty. It was a disappointing afternoon for the France striker and his team as Mbappe missed the mark with a stabbing attempt. With 8 games left, Los Blancos trail La Liga leaders Barcelona by 4 points after Barcelona and Real Betis drew 1-1 later on Saturday. On Tuesday, Carlo Ancelotti's team will travel to Emirates Stadium to play Arsenal in the first leg of their quarter-final Champions League match. The Whitecaps defeated Inter Miami 2-0 in the semi-final first leg. Lionel Messi and Inter Miami CF's hopes of making it to the CONCACAF Champions Cup final were severely damaged on Thursday as the Vancouver Whitecaps won the first leg of their semi-final match 2-0. The Whitecaps' goals from Brian White and Sebastien Berhalter, enhanced by the away goal rule, gave the Canadian team a significant lead going into the second leg. Chase Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, will host the second leg on Wednesday night. We stand to gain nothing. We need to score 2 goals and win the game. Before the second semi-final, Miami coach Javier Mascherano stated, "Vancouver is now under pressure to maintain the outcome." At BC Place Stadium, a record 53,837 people turned up to watch Messi. When the Argentine greats started the game and played the whole match, they weren't let down. Spanish midfielder Sergio Busquets, Uruguayan forward Luis Suarez, and Spanish defender Jordi Alba joined him in the star-studded kickoff. White headed a feed from Pedro Vite past custodian Oscar Ustari in the 25th minute, eliciting one of the greatest roars from the crowd, despite Miami's star power. In the 84th, Berhalter made it 2-0. "I still believe in this team, and I know that we are going to find a way to play a good game in Miami and try to come back," Mascherano stated. Van Dijk gets a new deal with Liverpool. Virgil van Dijk, the captain of Liverpool, has agreed to a new 2-year deal with the team. At the end of the season, the 33-year-old centre-back's previous contract was scheduled to expire. However, the Dutchman has committed his future to the team, joining striker Mohamed Salah, who last week signed a 2-year deal. Van Dijk stated, "It was always Liverpool, despite rumors that he was considering a move to Versailles. That was the situation. Liverpool was constantly in the forefront of my mind, along with the plan." After Jordan Henderson left Liverpool in 2023, the Dutchman, who has made 314 appearances for the Reds, was elected captain. "There wasn't any doubt in my head that this is the place to be for me and my family," Van Dijk added. "My name is Liverpool. Someone recently referred to me as an adopted Scouser. Hearing such things makes me feel quite proud. The sensation is one of excitement and pride. It's simply amazing. Being able to continue my career adventure for another 2 years at this club is incredible, and I'm overjoyed."